Mildred, first of all, the reason why we are having actually this argument is that comfort my brother Obed, that nobody here is against the Electoral Commission. But much as we have a duty to patriotism, it doesn't stop us from looking at reality. The truth is that history actually vindicates us. When we are talking about this voter education, for instance, and the training Simon and others are talking about, we've seen that in the Ugandan context, sometimes you need a longer period of training. I'll still go back to my point of the census. At least these guys interacted with these machines that they were supposed to use for a longer time than we are seeing. The EC has not even started, despite them having a lot of work to do. But still, you saw, Mildred, the debacle that happened on the first days of the what? Of the census. We had issues where people didn't know how to operate the what? The machines.
But they were later rectified.
That's what we are saying.
Well.
And I told you the worry here is that the election is 1 day.
It was.
You know, the perfection was attained as time went
And
on.
who says the Electoral Commission does not have the time to train?
So now
why are we being pessimistic already before the time comes?
I mean, experience is the best teacher. Let the Electoral Commission work this time round to prove us wrong.
And it is 40 days
40
that
days
we are talking about.
Short period of time. Because it's not going to be about the electoral officers only. Even the public need to be sensitized.
So are you saying the Electoral Commission does not have the capacity
no, we are looking at
to go ahead and train?
The time. Okay.
There is this common question.
Maybe just a minute, Simon, as he concludes. Please do conclude.
Then
you think Electoral Commission is lost for time?
I think they don't
40
have
days
enough
not
time.
enough?
Then the other thing also, you are asking about the hybrid.
The duo.
The duo.
It is voter verification. If it fails, then we go manual.
Let me
Simple.
tell you, in my other time, I'm also an accountant and I do audit work. The moment you give someone a system, two options, where they have an excuse not to do this, then I think you're already failing. That is already, a failure of controls. If you see, the chief architect or the chief advocate of this biometric voting is President Yoweri Museveni.
Wouldn't the Ugandans want it?
And when you try to understand his thinking, he's actually advocating for 100% biometric or digital voting. Because what we are saying here is, 2016 we had this duo. Last election we had this duo voting. But what usually always comes through, they will tell you the biometric has done what? Has failed. So it means if you're
just like any other machine.
If you are bringing the issue of us having two, like Mr. Byabakama is telling us, it's already a communication that actually the biometric will not be as effective.
It is a contingency plan. Why don't you look at it as a contingency plan?
I just told you who is the biggest advocate of the pleader of the Electoral Commission. He has told you Ghana achieved 100% biometric. So
but you want to think Ghana did not have a contingency plan
he told
just
us
in case?
It is 100%. So for me, what I'm looking at is if you're having a contingency plan, the plan should be aiming to actualize the 100% of the biometric. Because these other things we are talking about, the duos, we have tried them before. But they have not been as effective. And that's why this old man with a hat is coming up to say that, please, let's try another method. Okay. So if you're taking us back, then we have learned nothing and we have forgotten nothing. We can't be bourbons all the time.
Well, I don't know whether we're becoming bourbons in this election. Simon, I'll definitely be able to come back to you. Let me get to Mr. Rinitwe. You also seem to have a little bit of skepticism when it comes to the use of technology. Where is this emanating from? Can't we be able to trade and be able to utilize these voter verification machines? We've procured them. We procured them knowing that we actually wanted to use them.
Yes, I am skeptical because of a history, and I'm glad some of my colleagues in the studio are alluding to this. There has been a history and less preparation, and I can assure you that the moment you communicate, you strategically communicate about a dual process, it is an admission that one of the two is deemed to fail, and I think this is what is going to happen. It has happened before, and I'm not I'm not really convinced that the machines won't fail. In fact, I am privy to different sources of information about this system. There is so many people, many senior citizens, and several other observers who admit that they are not quite sure that this system will work. While the intention is fine, that the president who has been advocating for this for over time, for a number of years, he is well intentioned in terms of bequeathing the country with a shift towards the digital, because that's where we are going. If you look at the numbers, they'll show you how about 76% of the population really has embraced technology in different forms. You know, even Facebook, that was shut down in 2011, has appreciated in terms of Ugandan subscribers. Over 1 million plus Ugandans have subscribed to Facebook. So in terms of digital readiness of the country, I don't see any problems. The challenge is whether this machine or this technology will work because of how we've prepared the country. I doubt that has happened. I doubt there has been serious due diligence about the system, and also history shows us that we always panic towards the end. We always, come and do last minute things, to execute a one-day election. Where have we been? Where have we been for all these years? How come we did not pilot it? Because any technology needs to be piloted. Any technology needs to be transparently, exposed. And I have not seen that. And I don't want to blame again the Electoral Commission, because everybody knows, including the people in the studio, that the EC has been underfunded over time. If we had followed the roadmap as they had put it out, most probably we'll not be having these arguments. But we are having these arguments because there's a history, there's an experience, and there is also talk really in the corridors that there is huge doubt that this system will work. So the question is, why did we even bother to procure it? Why did we bother if we are used to our old system? But also as a country that is championing e-governance, that is championing technology, and the assumption that technology ensures precision, technology ensures transparency, and also I feel that the president, whose win has always been questioned, even at the level of the Supreme Court, feels